Next up is Angela Brown, and on deck, Chad Brown. In the hole, Tom McCracken.
Hi, I'm Angela Brown. Because our family has been so vocal about the concerns and the effects of masking with our kids, God's connected us with people who need help. I'm yielding my time tonight to be a voice for a mother who wants to share her daughter's story and wants to have some privacy. These are from her words, not mine. In the fall of 2019, my daughter entered middle school as a happy, well-adjusted kid. Sure, she had the normal butterflies about a new school and losing some old friends as well as gaining some new. She went to school willingly, came home laughing and telling about her day. She had A's and occasional B's. She went to her schoolwork with minimal parental involvement. She had friends over for pool parties, sleepovers, went shopping, to the movies, a normal life. She was excited to buy clothes for school, got up early before school to make time to style her hair and figure out what to wear. A lot has changed since COVID came along. Then came the lockdowns, hybrid learning, then return to school with masks and social distancing, vaccine pressure. This has been very, very hard on my daughter. She began begging to never have to go to school, can barely drag herself out of bed 10 minutes before the bus comes. She cares nothing about what she looks like, nothing about friends, nothing about her grades. She is so full of anxiety that she can't eat breakfast or lunch at school. She's become so anxious about school that even when she isn't there, she's worried so much that she can't enjoy anything she used to enjoy. At one point, she would rarely go to a store, see a movie, or eat in a restaurant. I recently realized she had no control over this. She began refusing school. In my mind, I was determined and staying in school was the only choice. I felt she'd be giving up, but quickly found out she had already given up. I decided to hold her accountable by making sure she was marked as a refusal. Pretty soon, the effect of her decision came down hard on her. She realized that Roanoke County would intervene, meetings would ensue, and special transportation would be arranged, and eventually the courts would be involved. To a child who has developed severe social anxiety, this was the end for her. She was terrified at what she had caused. She cried her eyes out and said, "How could I do this to myself?" She announced she would not skip school ever again. She got up, I drove her to school, where she commenced to have a panic attack in the car. I could see her trying so hard to overcome it, but she couldn't. She said she felt like a failure because she couldn't make herself go in. She was terrified at what was going to happen. A therapist told me this: when someone is terrified of spiders, we don't send them into a room full of spiders every day. And I would add, if you do send someone who isn't afraid of spiders into a room full of spiders every day, they might adjust to spiders, but everyone is different. Some might develop a very real fear of spiders, and justly so. So for the people who say the kids are fine with masks, it can't hurt them, I say to you, don't generalize, don't assume, and please, please, please listen to these kids. They are all different, and some are suffering emotionally from masks and distancing. The effect of covering this child's face every day, distancing her from people, has ended with crippling anxiety and depression. She has given up friendships. She flatly and unemotionally tells me that nobody really needs friends. She says she's truly decided this, and it's heartbreaking. She gave up with sitting with her friends at lunch. She was yelled at by the teacher for sliding into a table with one too many at the table. Instead, she sat at the table all alone. After a while, she didn't want to cry anymore. She lost hope that school would ever be a happy place. She accepted it. Don't get me wrong.
Please wrap up your comments.
So basically, the gist of this is, this letter was hard for me to read. Personally, I've been disheartened to hear the adults, educators, counselors, scout leaders, church leaders dismiss the effects on my sons, my daughter, her daughter, and many other. We are simply stating statistics, facts, misrepresentation, inconsistencies. We do not dismiss or mock COVID. Please do not dismiss or mock our children anymore. I pray we look at all aspects of COVID.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Chad Brown.